What is up, Earthnoids and Space Noids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're returning to the Delaz conflict in UC-0083. Last time, Ko and Kelly went up against the Delaz fleet, who pretended to drop a colony on the moon. But with the help of O'Sullivan, they flung around the moon and made their way to their new target, Earth. This time, Chima will begin her coup on Delaz, but not before Gail Hunt steps in and messes up her plan. Also, the solar system too will begin preparations to stop the colony drop. So let's get into this. As Ko preps GPO-3 for another launch, he remembers what Nina said to him earlier. This fight ahead of him has nothing to do with Nina. This is about taking down Zeon and Gato. Gato and his men are shooting debris to ensure that no one is hiding on their course to Earth. Out in the debris field is Gail Hunt's down G-line. Meanwhile, Bask and his fleet are on standby. They're putting all their faith into Chima and not making a move. Delaz tells Chima to come to his ship. She preps for her betrayal and lets Clara know that they are betraying Zeon. She gives her an out, but she stays with the team. Clara mentions that she seems to have Gail on her mind. Chima says that if you bring him up again, I will gut you like a fish. She modified the Gerber Tetra to use a mono-eye sensor, giving it a familiar look from the anime. As she meets with Delaz, she runs into Gail Hunt, who is trying to turn Coat once again. This is going to ruin her plan. She tries to stop Gail, but Delaz wants to hear him out. He goes on about his men at a coup. This triggers a flashback to UC-0078 before the war broke out at Side 3 military training colony Zahat, which is a military port. Chima and Gail are both bright-eyed idealists who are ready to prove themselves to the world. Then the war broke out, and her, Gail, and the Marines were tasked with gassing colonies who don't side with Side 3, including Island Iffish. She feels responsible for the death of 20 million people. Even after the colony drop, Zeon and the Federation are at a stalemate. The deaths barely moved the needle in the war. Operation British is where Gail's face was mutilated. Chima says, "Yeah, I'm into battle wounds," and kisses him. Gail gives her a pair of dice, as he always relates life to rolling the dice. Delaz wants Gail to fight with him and his men, but Gail plans on killing him to bring justice to his fallen comrades during the 1-year war. As they were the ones who carried out the gassing of colonies, they were blamed for the war crimes, even though they were just following orders. Delaz is as good as any higher-up to take his anger out on. Clara fires on Gail, but her Gelgoog's aim is off. Chima goes to stop Gail from ruining her plan. Back at the Albion, the Gundam finally launches. Delaz wants Chima to handle this situation. It seems he suspects something of her and is using this situation to assess the plan. They continue fighting. Chima dropkicks Gail in the back, causing him to smash into Delaz's ship. She says Gail's catchphrase, "You live by rolling the dice," and fires a beam rifle, taking out Gail's G-line. Delaz tells her to come to the bridge. She grabs her gun, prepping for her coup. Gato spots the Gundam, approaching their location. Draw C's engage with the Dendrobium. Ko and Kelly unleash the 1082 micro-missile pod. Kelly uses the claw to crush a few incoming Rickdoms. That is when Gato makes his appearance on the battlefield. Synapse wonders if the fleet ever intends to back them up. Nina comes onto the bridge of the Albion and tells him about the new Zeal. Lucette is there too. The captain tells them that they should leave, but they want to play this out. Nina is stressing too hard, which causes her stitches to open up. She ends up passing out. Meanwhile, on board Delaz's ship, Chima begins her coup. She pulls a gun on Delaz as her men take control of the bridge. The new Zeal and Unit 3 clash. They fire missiles left and right. It looks like two giant action figures smashing into one another. Gato can recognize Kelly's movements and Ko's attack patterns. He has the upper hand and is about to go in for the kill, but he is informed that something is up with the Delaz fleet, and he needs to respond. He ignores Unit 3 for now and heads back to the Guadon. He heads back to the Delaz fleet to find that the attacks have been suspended. Chima comes on the comms telling them to lay down arms as they have Delaz as a prisoner. Operation Stardust ends here. Gato runs into Chima's fleet, who ties him down and surrounds him. Synapse is getting intel as it comes in. He assumes the random stop in the operation is why the orbital fleet never made their move, but he still has no idea what is going on. Unit 3 returns to the Albion once again for a resupply. Moira and Lucette get to work. Ko tells the two, as it is now, Unit 3 doesn't stand a chance against Gato. The doctor tells Nina to take it easy, but she heads back out to the hangar to help out. Oliver is informed Yuri Hassler of Chima's betrayal. They should probably link back up with the Axis fleet, but they want to monitor the new Zeal. Captain Mae West is watching everything go down. Chima helped his fleet in their time of need, but his Zeon Remnant group is also inspired by Delaz. He decides to just let things play out and help whoever comes out on top. Unit 3 is designed to have both the maneuverability of Unit 1 and the power of Unit 2, but Ko is struggling with the mobile suit. Nina comes in and says she knows how to fix the Gundam to make it do what Ko is looking for. Chima tells Gato to surrender when Gail comes on the bridge. He barely survived and made it to the Guanban before running out of oxygen. Delaz tells her that this cause isn't about him, it is about Zeon. Chima tests this theory. She sends communication to the Delaz fleet warning them that lying ahead is a trap set up by the Federation. There is a solar system waiting to destroy the fleet. Chima suggests they flee to Axis. Like the OVA, Delaz tells Gato that he must continue the mission and to not worry about him. He sigs at Zeon and Gail shoots Delaz in the head. I like this ultimatum because it shows that Gato saved the fleet. Ultimately, this moment probably would have split the Delaz fleet, and it would have been eviscerated by the solar system. But because of what Gato was about to do, it keeps the fleet together and gives them a fighting chance. Gato breaks free from his restraints and begins tearing through Chima's fleet. Because of this, not a single ship from Delaz's fleet retreats. Mae West thinks that Chima will win this. Even though Delaz's fleet is bigger, Chima's fleet consists entirely of skilled Marines. Synapse realizes Jaburo isn't going to be sending them any orders. Ko doesn't want Nina to involve herself in this anymore, but she finds that Ko is being selfish. Karia suggests that he handles Chima's fleet, while Gato pushes forward and handles the solar system. But he heads back to the ship. Karius fights with Clara. Chima's men forces her to retreat, but she doesn't want to leave Gail. He tells her to leave without him. Since he has killed Delaz, he is satisfied and wants to now be with his men. That is when Gato rushes in and fires his claw arm on the bridge. He gets a direct hit on Gail, ripping him apart into 2 pieces. Brutal. Chima and her men flee before they get swept out into space. Gato heads forward towards the solar ray. Claire tries to stop Gato and Karius on her own, but Chima steps in with her Gerbera Tetra. The solar ray is at 78% and still needs time for assembly. Bass gets a fleet out in front to defend the solar weapon. He tells Chima's fleet to back them up. Chima and Gato engage in battle. This panel makes me think of Grievous fighting Obi-Wan, and it makes me laugh. The mobile armor isn't menacing in the manga. Clara notices a bullet hole in Nuziel's shoulder and tells Chima that there is a weak spot in Gato's eye field. She fires at the Nuziel's shoulder and gets a direct hit. Chima's fleet closes in on them, but the Peer Grant blocks the fleet. We never named this Musai-class ship directly, but the Peer Grant was responsible for getting Gato back to the Garden of Thorns with the Gundam. The Peer Grant goes down while helping Karius and Gato head towards the solar system. He recognizes that his anger made him lose sight of the greater good, and the Peer Grant's destruction helps him focus. He focuses on commanding the Delaz fleet to victory. Back on the Albion, the crew finally receives orders. Their orders are to work together with Chima's fleet to prevent the colony drop. Everyone thinks this is crazy, but for Ko, his goal is stopping Gato and the colony. Tanya is on a shuttle and trying to intercept the Albion. In the hangar, Ko wants to speak with Nina, but he has to remain on standby in his cockpit. Tanya makes it to the Albion. She has orders that come from Cohen before he was stripped of his rank. Their orders are to retreat and lay low during this operation. However, Synapse and the crew hold a personal responsibility, and they can't back down. They won't take orders from Bask and the orbital fleet. They will act as they always have been, as an autonomous ship, and focus on taking out the colony. Tanya goes, well, okay. Bye. Nina is able to get the boot sequence working. Lucette gives her credit, even though this is her Gundam. Moira tells Nina that she should go say something to Ko before he launches. But Tanya comes over and tells Nina to come with her. She tells her that she was on Levian Rose when Nakato was doing his thing. Of course, Nina refuses, and Tanya finds her actions to be selfish. Unit 3 is finally good to launch. Back at Levian Rose, Karina tells Paula that there will most likely be a purge at Anaheim Electronics after this event. Paula has Nina's Haro. Suddenly, a recorded message from Gato begins playing out of Haro. And that will do it for this episode. Cohen's last orders of relieving the Albion crew and taking responsibilities of the nuke was Cohen trying to give the Albion an out. They are about to be thrown under the bus, and even knowing this, they still let their actions be dictated by their honor. It never turns out well for people who want to do the right thing. Next time, we will see the upgraded Dendrobium in action. Kelly and Ko will work with Chima to fight against Gato, and the Albion enters into the colony. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, if the Federation gives you an out, you should probably take it. Peace.